Hey, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Sit back, stick around, and we got some stuff to do in the shop today. See you in a minute. Alright, welcome back. First of all, show you my tool kit, my new one. They were redoing our first aid boxes at work, so this was heading for the dumpster. So I scarfed it. Got all my knife handle tools in here. Some other odds and ends. My leather making stuff. Here's a part I made up last night. Got it wet and clamped it. Give you a little hint. So we got a lot planned for today. I did a little shopping. New little belt sander. And then I brought in a bunch of rough cut spalted. I want to make in the handle material. This is a piece of ash. And it was heading for the fire pit, but you can't see it now. I'll sand it and show it to you later. Wait, that's not even the right piece. Anyhow, it looks like we got some pretty cool grain buried in that, so we're going to cut that out and see if I can get some knife scales. And then this piece right here is the crotch, also ash. Right here you can see we have some beautiful curly, I call it tiger striped, but the way it's set up, I can slice it right down the center and it'd be automatically book matched. Be kind of cool. So that's a pretty thick chunk. I'll be whacking that on the bandsaw, turning it into usable pieces. Here's a better shot of the spalted. That's what it looks like. Just an old firewood log, probably silver maple. And I believe the spalted is caused from where it's sitting in the dirt. The fungus starts growing up into the log. Because I notice there's like a pattern that comes up right out of the ground. So, alright, let's get going. First thing I'm going to do, you can see here is my original Condor bush loader. And I bought a bunch of blanks. I showed you those. You can see the rivet pattern. Oh, there we go. Rivet pattern, and then the hole for the lanyard. Well, as you can see on the blank, they just got it set up for 3 rivets, and the rivet pattern's off. So what I'm going to try to do is change my pattern. So I brought this centered on that rivet, and then I'll enlarge that hole for the lanyard hole. I don't have the tube yet, but I'll do it at 1/4 inch right now. I may have to enlarge it to 5/16. So I got a set of Cobalt drill bits, which is about 30 bucks, 32 bucks, something like that, because I have a feeling this steel might be hard. We'll see. First thing I'm going to do is tape off the blade, because it is like using sharp right now. And then I want to try to modify it and make a little finger choil here. Once I get that set in, I'll be doing measurements on the back, and I'm going to attempt to put some jimping on the spine of the knife for a thumb grab. So I'm going to get this taped off and get her clamped in the vise, and we'll see if those drill bits will go through that without any trouble or not. Alright, I'm going to start out with the 1/8 inch bit, mainly because I have 2 of them. That way if one is totally trashed, I still have a backup. We'll see if this will make it through. was a piece of cake. I expected a lot more trouble than that. So apparently the handle isn't as hard as it is up by the blade, but it could have been. So anyhow, I'll move up to the 3/16. Hold on. Alright, we're all chucked up and ready to go. The reason I chose 3/16 is, focus, that is the shank size of my Corby bolts. Or are they Cory bolts? Kobe? Corby. That is the shank size right there. So that's why I'm going 3/16. Did you refocus? Yep. Alright, here we go. A little cotton oil. Reason I went so slow is my pilot hole was a little off center. I tried to bring it back on center best I could. I think it worked out pretty good. Yeah, not bad. Back and forth doesn't matter. The up and down is more important. So I got it pretty decent. Close enough for drills I go out with. So, all right. Now I guess I'm going to try to grind out this finger choil. I think what I might do is go ahead and use the drill to drill some holes around, and then we'll go from there. So let me get you back in the chuck, and we'll just sit right here. We go. See what happens. I'm going to switch back over to the 1/8 inch. A lot easier. Alright, I think that's close enough to grind the rest of it. Got the major meat part cut out. That looks horrid. So I'll degrease it with some thinner and then grind the rest of that out and smooth it with this file. Be right back. Alright, might get loud up in here. I got the big fat blade on there. There, right there. It's like an 1/8 inch, so I'm just going to get it close and I'll try to finish the rest up with a chainsaw file. trying not to overheat the steel. That's why I keep pulling it off. Let it cool down. Well, I got it roughed out. I got a lot of file work to do on it. Where'd it go? There it is. This I wanted to leave anyhow. We'll see how it feels. But let me start filing on it. Well, that didn't work too awful. Got her smoothed out pretty good. I'll run some sandpaper in there and probably call it good and move on to the next. We'll see. Alright, I got a piece of 3/4 dowel with some sandpaper. This isn't metal grade sandpaper, so it's not going to last too long. But should be enough to shine it up some. At least take the rough edges out, smooth it out. It's working pretty decent, considering. A little bevel on it. Yeah, I need to buy some metal grade sandpaper so I can wet sand with it and stuff also, some emery cloth or what have you. That means more shopping. Woohoo! It's pretty dang decent. Make sure there's no burr on it. Come out nice and flat. I like it. Call that good for now. Let me see if I can get a... Okay, focus, Daniel-san. Not awful. There's the factory. You can see the grinder lines. That's going to be covered. But if I get really crazy, I'll polish that up. But for now, I think I got the profile close enough, roundish. Fits my finger. Alright, let's move on. Still grinding away. Hey, I just wanted to do a little shout out. Everybody enjoy today is Memorial Day Eve. So amongst all your barbecues and fun and having a beer or two with family and friends, just take a moment and give our fallen veterans a thought. Put your hand on your heart and give them a little thank you. You know, they did the ultimate sacrifice for our way of life, so it's the least we can do to give them a minute. Just send up a little silent prayer if you're inclined. Other than that, have an awesome tomorrow. Free day off of work for most of us. Woohoo! And it's usually paid, which is awesome. So yeah, just give them a little moment of silence. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart to our fallen veterans. And let's go have some fun. Be safe. I'll get back with you in a minute. Alright, jumping on the thumb ramp, total fail. I didn't even think about measuring everything out before I started filing. So anyhow, what I did was I just ground it all out of there. Made a nice little dent. And it feels really good. So that's what I'm going to stick with. On to the wood part. I know more about that. Alright, here we go. Alright, I got her all degreased. Got it kind of the way I want it. The thumb ramp feels good. I didn't bother to put more jimping in there. As you can see, it's created a weak spot, but this is my own personal knife, and I'm not a big fan of batoning or anything like that anyhow. Quite frankly, if you need a 1-inch round stick, go find a 1-inch round stick, for Pete's sakes. Unless you have no other choice, I understand, but why would you risk your knife just to split a log? You know, you could find a 1-inch stick with a branch sticking out, sharpen the end of it, be a perfect tent stake. So let's get on to the handle part and see how that turns out. You see, I enlarged my hole to 1/4 inch. I have a feeling when I get my tube in the mail I'm going to have to enlarge that to 5/16, but that's no big deal. I can go right through the wood handle and everything once I got it affixed. So let's get drawing out the handle. See you in a minute.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.